everybody, and welcome back to more of the stream and the bazaar and whatnot. Seems like things are a little delayed on my end, but I don't know. Maybe let me try moving my camera a bit. Maybe it's having trouble picking up my mouth. I don't know. It seems all right now though, so I guess we'll just go with that and kind of hope for the best here. Initially, hopefully, well, first of all, hopefully you all are having a good day and kind of sort of managed to fix the issue from last time. All I did after stream was I just closed out both VTube Studio and OBS, and it just started working again. So I have no idea. I don't know if it was one or the other, but we're back to somewhat of a working model here, quite literally and figuratively. So I guess we can count our lucky stars for that, I guess. So let's just go ahead and be happy with that. Today, well, I mean, there was a new patch for the Bazaar, so let's we're gonna get into that for sure. And sorry, I'm just trying to adjusting myself a bit. Maybe that's a little better. You can kind of see my tail moving now. I don't know. Maybe something like that. All right. Well, we'll just we'll go with that for now. Yeah, we'll just go with that. That's probably fine. I realize in a lot of my streams, you haven't really seen the anthropomorphic part of my my character. So, yeah, hello. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the tail. Actually, hold on. Let me zoom out a bit more so you can get sort of the full experience, I guess. I don't know. I'm not realizing that my character's head is disproportionately small to the rest of my body. Yeah, even doing something like that, it's kind of, I don't know. We'll go with that. That way you can see, can kind of see more, I guess. Hopefully you're having a good day, Mia. I appreciate you stopping by the stream. But yeah, thanks. Hoping to have a good day today. It's the Bazaar, so we'll see. Even when I'm fairly upset, I'm still having a good time. So we're gonna hope for the best, and yeah, let's just kind of hop into it. Let's go ahead and do that. Just launch. And normally I would auto adjust myself, which I still might, but maybe since my character is unlocked here. No, not an axolotl. I am a chameleon, panther chameleon specifically. My favorite color is blue, if you couldn't tell. Well, yeah, not an axolotl. Oh yeah. No, that was like one of the cool little fun ones that I got. So I think I might eventually have. Oops, it's probably hard to talk over all of that. Sorry about that. I do eventually want to get like a personalized transition screen um, with the whole like chameleon aesthetic and stuff. So yeah, we'll probably do something like that in the future. But yeah, I don't know. For now, we'll just kind of go with what we're going with, I suppose. I don't really know a good way to, because now I'm like too small. I don't know. Oh, you want to see the tail? Okay, here you go. There you are. I love it. Thanks. Me too. Normally, this is the part where I say I grew it myself, but that's not true. My artist, uh, Mama, and my Papa that rigged it, they did fantastic work. So yeah, something you don't really see too often. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to keep my character full on the screen like this because minimizing makes it weird. I'm also cutting off part of the game. I also don't want to make myself too small though. It's just hard to see. Maybe I'll go with something like that, even though it's cutting off part of the screen. So you can like kind of see the idle animation of the tail. We'll keep it like that for now. But yeah, hopefully you're having a good day, Rainbow, as well. Thanks for joining on the stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Appreciate y'all joining in. So new patch from the Bazaar hit yesterday. And there's been significant changes. Bugs are still a thing. They're slightly less powerful. So they are more beatable, which is good. There's a major changes to Dually. You get you no longer get a starting core. You actually get an event on day 3, where you get to choose your core. So that is an interesting way to build them now. All the cores have been buffed. Weapon core is insane. If we play Dually today, which we probably will, we're probably going to do a full hero cycle. I'll probably run weapon core unless they give us something sort of something else. But weapon core is great. It's a lovely alternative to bugs, and so that's nice. However, because the patch just happened, the power level a lot of builds are pretty low, and you're running into people experimenting with stuff. So like the win ratio is kind of skewed. That being said, stuff's still powerful. You still run into people that know what they're doing, and it is insane. Mac got buffed a lot. Getting a regeneration build for him is pretty easy to force now. And Pig got a significant buff to certain things like Money Tree. Money Tree is amazing. But Pig is overall still reduced in power level in comparison to the other heroes. That being said, Vanessa is actually the among the weaker heroes this patch cycle. The devs ended up nerfing Robotics Factory, and some of those sort of overall general changes ended up affecting Aquatics Vanessa and Shipwreck. Still powerful, but where normally Aquatics Vanessa would shine between the early and mid game, she's now super weak. So if you run into a Vanessa on ladder, it's like almost a 99% chance. Well, let's say like 95% chance that you're going to be just running into random weapons, Vanessa, because weapons is like her bread and butter, and it's just good now with like certain buffs that have happened. So, yeah, a lot of interesting changes. And we'll just kind of get into it. So let's see. Today, take 3,000 damage. Excuse me. That's an extra 0. That's easy enough. Buy 2 multicast items. I think I can do that. Gain 20 levels. Okay, that's possible. I already did all my weeklies because I'm kind of a fiend like that. I'm not sure if you see like my chests and tickets up there. We're currently on level 50, so we're almost done with the regular prize pass, and we can move into just I think chests afterwards. I did spend a bit of gems on a card back that was offered in the cosmetic shop. Let me see if I can find it here. It should currently be on the character. So yeah, it's this one. Looked really nice. It was like 2,000 gems. I was more than happy to pay that. There is a Vanessa skin that I'm looking for, so let me see if it's in the shop here today. It is not. It is Mac again. I do not want you, sir. Sorry. I want a Vanessa skin. Last, in the open beta, there was a Vanessa skin that I wanted that I just could not get and probably will never get, which is pretty unfortunate, but, you know, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So we have a free ticket. I don't know where I want to start today. I think I'm going to start a dually run for the free one. We're going to hope for the best, and, you know, we'll see how it goes. Let me... Still having trouble picking up my mouth a little bit. Maybe that's a little better. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so yeah, we no longer start with a core, so dually starts like everyone else. Shiny, Uzi, Deadly, Red, Firefly, or Shiny Uzi. I like Shiny Uzi, that's pretty cool. It also pushes us more towards the weapons, like I said. Okay.
Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me.
I'll do that though. I'll save the drill. Oh yeah, we easily beat the Viper here. Easy. All right, starting out good. Love to see it. Love to see it. Viper Fang? Toxic? Nope, regular Fang. That's still good. 3 seconds. Don't have a toy or anything. All right.
People first, profit 10. Do you have to leave already?
It feels weird to skip the bugs, you know? But, yeah, like I said, that's not what I'm going for, so. Alright, yeah, let's upgrade.
We refurbish junk.
Maybe we'll get lucky later and get, like, Shiny Fang. From, the Sabertooth. I'm also not a hermit anymore. I've actually been going through, like, a huge depression, and a lot of stress because we recently moved, accident with the car and everything, so I finally like shaved and I no longer look like a caveman. I think Vanessa is actually going to beat me here for yeah, lighter got buffed, and now starts at 2 burn, and every time you upgrade it gets an extra 2 burn, so it's pretty strong now. Pretty strong, no longer just a crap starting item. yeah, which makes shiny lighter all the more scary. Wow. Don't mind if I do. Strength? That works.
Maybe I'm getting better at this.
Here we go.
Reuse, recycle, relax.
That's good. Unfortunately, we don't have any of that. I mean, what's the likelihood that we use drill? Probably not. Normally I wouldn't do that, but
Well, you're doing
yeah.
your part to clean up the bazaar.
We're definitely building weapons here. We're committing.
Circuits to see that find a home.
Okay, now everything has a chance to crit, even though it's 1%. Still matters. Do we have enough damage for Rogue Scrapper? I don't know. Let's try it. If I get fucked, that's how it goes. It'd be really nice to get the club if we win, though. Ah, it looks like we're fine. Nothing to worry about here. Nothing to worry about here. Okay. Well, not what we wanted, but that's fine. Gold. Okay, can we get a ray? We cannot, but that works too. Would have been nice to get a ray. Okay. So another dually, fellow dually. Are you running bugs? Yes, yes you are. A variation on it anyway. Looks like we're fine though. Awesome. Alright, love to see it. Starting out. We got a win. We only lost to the Vanessa, which is unfortunate, but you know, it happens. Oh, we didn't get weapon core this time. Darn. Crit? Yeah, let's do crit. Let's see, what do I want to crit? I think we want to do something like that. Because then all of this is charging, well, yeah. Yeah, that's probably good.
You've just taken the first step toward good taste.
I forgot to check that.
Remember,
Whatever.
diamonds come in small boxes.
No, we want the ray. There we
Shall
go.
I gift wrap it for you?
Oh, you can also sell cores now, which is good. And they start at silver. That's good enough.
I'm almost sure that was a good trade.
Not having weapon core is kind of throwing a literal wrench into this build. Let's see though, we should still be alright. Ooh, we could get an upgrade for the Uzi, that would be nice.
I'll go get me man there, make you regret it, blood.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's kind of sad, but alright. 7 seconds. Am I using any tech right now aside from the core? Nah. Yeah, let's do that instead. We can always put the tech back in later.
I got everything you need. Just a matter of finding it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Shadowed cloak. Get the claws.
Reuse everything.
I might have sprung for bracer, but nah, that's okay. Okay, yeah, let's upgrade. Okay, nice. Put tech in, and okay, we definitely want that to crit, so we'll do something like that. Kind of weird. It works though. Maybe we can get another weapon skill.
I'm not sure where
That's
else
a
to
good
say.
one.
There are greater trainers than me. I'm just getting you ready for them.
Why must we do this? Death laughs at us both.
Ooh. Is this regeneration Mac? Yep.
Every failed experiment lights the path to success.
Not bad. It's kind of slow to start, but this guy's a legend player. They'll catch up. They'll catch up. Okay, I think I'm gonna go here. Apparently with this event, the medium item always gives a silver. So armadillo. Let's see. Small. I don't know what I would want. Let's transform. Ooh. This gains haste, and the weapon to the left gains 20. That's a maybe. Can we beat the prince? I don't know. Let's give it a try.
So little ocean.
I'm pretty sure the more you interact with his board, the more he actually hurts you. So let's see if that's true.
By thin and gill, I will sink this
Almost
city
true.
to the map.
Almost true. I don't even know what I want from his board. I really don't have anything that interacts with anything. That's fine.
If you want Grim and Stoic, you came to the wrong Sphinxian. I believe in
Rightmost weapon, 30 damage. Sure.
We made progress today. I'm proud of you.
In fact, let's do that. Shield, non-weapons.
Heat up, bulk up, get
Let's get regeneration. 5 regen isn't much, but it could be something. Potentially. Claw upgrade is nice.
Clean up the bazaar.
Get you, get you.
My rusty circuits to see that find a home.
This feels like I'm like a Vanessa almost. Yeah.
Hooey! Now that's a bargain.
Club? No club. Sad.
Sit there 20 years, waiting for you.
6.7. Fine.
Warms my rusty circuits to see that find a home.
Yeah, overall we just want to increase our power level, which we have been doing, so that's That's good. That's good.
Go ahead.
Okay, Vanessa,
Underestimate.
are you
Makes
weapons
this
or
more
are
fun.
you aquatic? I saw you had
Lago
one
was a
win.
world of freedom. We
You
forged
look
our
like you're
own
weapons.
destinies
Yep.
on open seas. Like my crew says at the
Got better
bar,
burst than she does,
another
which is
round.
crazy. Had 2 grenades too. Wow. And an invuln potion that did go off. Damn. That's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Yeah, sure. Wow. Gold. I'm pretty poor, so let's go to the docks instead. Hamlet. Fortunately, we don't have a way to utilize you, buddy. Rocket Troopers, Scoville. I actually think I want to go with the Duelist and try to get his skill here. Because this could matter at the beginning, even if it doesn't last that long.
I read the art of the duel.
Any extra damage I can squeeze out of my weapons is good. Nice, got it. Loot, sure. Ooh, gunpowder. More chances. All about it.
Smart shoppers buy vintage.
Upgrade.
New items? Do we look like Lux and Andy?
At some point, this is gonna fall off. I don't know when
Good
that
fights
is.
lately? Well, I do
Drill. Ballista. Unfortunately, we don't have any
I
any
respect
haste
you for it,
effects.
but bare hands are not enough.
Pig. Okay. Do we have a money tree build? A square pig? No, we do not. Langsian. Or long shot. That's a pretty powerful long shot.
I believed in myself and I
Damn.
still lost.
322 on day 5. So this guy's been winning a decent amount. Looks like we're able to burst him down, though. Medium and large. I think I'm gonna go with gumballs and hope for some red and blue boys. Green's good too. Yellow's just a waste because we don't have any shield. Too bad we don't have the skill from the mare. Infernal, can we beat Infernal? I don't think we can. Can we? We have like no recovery. I'm gonna play it safe and go for the trash golem. It would have been nice, because there were some skills that the Infernal had. I don't know. Maybe we could have beat him. I don't know. Well, we'll never know now. At least we got a level, though. Okay, let's up the crit chance here. Cool. Love it, love it, love it.
Spar with you, but this leg.
Unfortunately, hey.
You go to stillness. I prefer action.
Weapon. Rolling pin. Well, again, No haste effect. Pig. 0 wins. Oh, wow. Oh, this guy's a diamond player too. Shit. What kind of build do you have? Money tree. Oh, wow. And dog. Okay. Okay. I see he's builds and bursts you down. I see. Damn. Wow, he even had the balcony too. Ooh. Oh, and the overheal. That's crazy, man. Yeah, it's bad. It feels bad playing pig right now. It makes me sad, actually. Yeah, let's get a weapon. Ooh. That's a nice weapon, but doesn't really work for me.
Come on in. Let's chat.
Tech? Yeah, sure, why not?
Doesn't work out for you. Come back for a refund.
Scarf. Nah. I think we can beat Treasure Turtle. I think. Doesn't really have anything I want aside from like the loot stuff, so awesome. Hey, we got some loot. Yeah.
I will not train you to kill. I will train you to live.
First 4 times, charge weapon. Cooldown 10%. Sure.
Every coin goes back to our community. We Sphinxians thank
Ooh, that's a nice one. Burn. I'm gonna go for a temporary boost. Damage, that's always good. 6. We could probably do better. See what we have in here.
Overpriced. You're overpoor.
It's 4 damage. That's too slow. Wow. But this has already benefited from all of the stuff. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Not today.
Choose it somewhere else.
Okay.
We're out to
Vanessa
dethrone a
Part
king,
2.
not to squabble with nobody.
5 wins. Ooh. Same level. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm seeing. Cannonade. Burst.
Next time, boys.
That was gonna be a
less
close one,
plunder,
actually.
More plunder.
Damn. Had some good skills, too. Now, this is weird. It feels weird to be playing dually like this. Like, this just... I don't know. It's so strange. Ooh. Non-weapons. 5. That's kind of funny. Yeah, let's go with loot. Regen. Wow. That's a tech. We don't have a vehicle. I guess we'll just go for value with EXP. We're almost at level 10, which means we'll get an enchant soon. probably gonna enchant the second Uzi. Hey, maybe if luck holds out, we'll get we'll get another we'll get shiny. That would be cool. Even obsidian would be pretty good, I think. Sure. All right.
A friend. I mean, a customer.
Hey, look, it's that guy that I hate. Beetle.
Maybe
Nothing as per usual. Let's get another boost. Want to make sure that we can succeed here. Ooh, Vanessa, 2 wins. Yeah, it is rough out there for Vanessa's, damn. Sea Dog Saloon. Ooh, aquatics. Oh, and they got the old Salt Claw. I like this guy. Too bad they don't have a shot glass. Shot glass would be crazy. Rip. That's too bad. Wow. Ooh. Obsidian. Do I obsidian the Uzi? Yeah. Yeah. I was highly considering obsidian the rocket launcher, but since this is constantly going off every 2 seconds, that's probably a better target.
My battle days are over, but my weapons crave.
Usual suspects. We got a big one. Wow. Rail gun.
You'll be back with bruises.
Okay, we don't have a vehicle, nor do we have a tool, so unfortunately Captain's out. I would play Raynad for the memes, especially for the voice lines, but I think we're gonna go roaming Isle here. Double seaweed, the bane of my existence. Cool. Chances we'll use railgun are 0.
To trust the shrouded at the edge of the fun.
There's a lot of robots in the Bazaar, but you're my favorite.
First 5 times use the core. Each fight haste 1 item for 2 seconds. Let's get more cooldown. Should be just under 5. That's nice.
Imagine the wonders waiting for us in the ground.
Nice.
Magnificent find.
All right. Rocket launcher gets a damage increase, right? So it's not a ton, but it's still something. Maybe I should have used it on the Uzi. Whatever.
Have you noticed I'm huge?
Ooh. I might die here. Yeah.
Learn a lot from losing.
Damn. That is insane. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Yeah, that is like literally the anti-me, so
Everyone here is huge.
not upset about
It's
that, not in the
terrifying.
slightest.
Go buy something huge and then sell it to me.
Few warriors
Okay, what do
need
you
to
got? Can we get an
Gather
upgrade for
weapons
the
and be
ray,
mine.
perhaps? No, because that
Bazaar
would
is
be
not kind for
convenient.
weapons.
We're gonna play it super safe. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, let's get that. I mean, we've already got 7 wins under our belts. Oh, hey, and we got it. Off of just random bullshit. So I'm happy with that. Oh, nice. Yep, monster loot every time. More ammo. Do you want ammo or cooldown? 4% for everything. I think we want ammo here, even though we pretty much never get to the end of the ammo belt.
We Imperians are here to guide you.
Hey, you never know.
And sell you a few
Crypto...
This was not
fine.
a transaction. It was
Nothing
a
else.
lesson.
Ooh. 8-win Vanessa. Must be a strong weapon
I may
and
be
or
young
aquatic
for a
build.
captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Weapons. Interesting. Obsidian. Okay. I see where they're going with this.
All cannon, no ball.
Ooh, actually got me too. Ah, right. Because everything, yep. Makes sense. Good on ya. Love it.
You will get through this and be strong.
Poison. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream.
Your things are so dull. Let me brighten them.
Man, I don't know. Sure. Healing. Healing could be good. What do we get? Oh, right, this is the thing from before. This has double value. So, does that mean this is at... this is at 3 right now? I don't know.
Size dilutes the brain. Mind is highly concentrated.
Well, don't want any of that, so... Friends, guess we'll just go for health. We're just sitting on money. Alright.
The desert wind is warm perfume.
I will strongly consider taking this skill if it's offered to me. Damn. 60%. Let's go. Okay, red and blue? Wow, 4 yellow. Fuck me, I guess. Ah, there we go. That's a little better. We have a Vanessa, 7 wins, and has died? Which means they're probably pretty strong. You are flagship. Yikes. That is scary. Probably don't burst. Well, no, it looks like I do burst them enough. I have to crit though. Yeah, nope. Oh, okay, that's how they had the lifesteal. Did I die already? I did. It's okay. We got 7 wins off of like random bullshit, so and that was free. I'm happy with that. Okay, we need 8 more levels. Cool. Alright, so we've got a lot of chests. So let's open up some chests. I believe I have 5 more from the beta. So let's open those, and then we'll be done with them. What? Maybe it's just an animation thing. What the hell? Okay, let's open them one at a time, I guess. Okay. It's a little more than usual. I think the average is 35. Wow, that's actually a lot more than usual. I think there's also like a 1 in a million chance to get like 10,000 gems, which apparently some people have gotten. Okay, last one off the beta. Rip beta chests. No more. Ah, and it's a dupe skin. Damn. Alright, well, let's do a tenner. Ooh. New chest cosmetic. Got a ticket, rolled pretty low in terms of gems for the most part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the average. 4 above average. Not bad. Okay, let's equip the cosmetic. Chest. Here we go. Look at that. That looks nice. Okay, so that's chest you got. I like it. I like it. I'm happy with a lot of that stuff. Okay, so this is probably going to be extremely painful, but let's go for it. Got it. Gold skill. Fiery it is. Maybe we'll get a lighter. Or something. Yeah, that's good.
Tell
That's
Everyone,
fine
we
as
gotta
well.
heal.
Sure.
You want to buy that? I mean, excellent choice.
Damn, no lighter, huh? Well, there we go. No. The level 3 core choice, you just get as a separate event in addition to the level. So, it doesn't screw over your level choice. It's really nice, actually.
It's over already. We barely got our flags.
It really allows you to kind of set up a build before you, and try to aim for a core. That game I probably would have done better if they offered me a weapon core, but that was the only one that was excluded out of the choices. So I took crit, and actually crit ended up doing not too bad. I'm kind of poor, so I think I'm going to go here. Ambergris. We do not have a friend, nor do we have a toy. Alright, item it is. Upgrade is fine.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
Yep. Okay, we are actually in trouble here. I really, 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 really need to crit. Actually, well, no. Yeah, I need to crit. Hit! Oh my god. Wow. Clutch. Good fang. Good fang, good fang. This always gives a medium silver. That's an item.
Hail, my boy.
If you're not ready for my training, I'm not sure where else to send you. You
Yeah.
picked that up quickly. Maybe I'm getting better at this.
I would spar with you, but this leg. Oof.
Just gains 5 crit. Katana. Do we go for trebuchet, or as someone in my circle of friends or an acquaintance affectionately refers to it as trebucket? Do we go for a trebucket? Are we going weapons? Satisfies the burn, even if it's kind of bad. Nah,
We'll
katana.
make some more stories, then come back and tell me.
Rogue Scrapper. Nah, we're too weak for Rogue Scrapper. Unfortunately. In fact, I wonder if it's better if we do that. Thief.
Yo,
We can probably beat the thief. Probably. Yeah, we're fine. Medium. Jungle. Kind of poor. What would I get out of medium? Maybe an upgrade for the katana. Jungle. Seaweed. Alright, Curio. It's good. It's good. Also good.
Warms my rusty circuits to see that final.
Club? No club. That's a darn shame.
Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything.
Knee brace. It's actually worth considering.
That's a bargain.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies. Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
Aquatics. Heavy seaweed. That sucks. I have a feeling I'm going to lose. A very strong suspicion. Because seaweed is different.
I paint my
Oh, look at that.
but I don't use.
Seaweed completely undoes everything that I do. And yet, here we are, like, 8,000 patches later, and it's still not nerfed. I don't get it. I don't get it. The devs know this item is oppressive, and it's a problem. They've even acknowledged it. And yet they're like, we have to leave seaweed in. No, you don't. You really don't.
Ride that tide!
You could just fix it. But you don't, for some reason. I don't know why. It makes no sense.
You've just taken the first step toward good taste.
We need shark claws.
Remember, diamonds come in small boxes. I think that suits you beautifully.
We really need shark claws. Do we beat at the right? Not without scaling damage, so we're going here because we're weak as fuck.
2 pots. Was it bismuth?
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it? They'll never do it, though.
I flunked.
They'll never do it. It has to, like, there's no way that they're not doing this intentionally. Like, they probably believe that, like, seaweed is, like, what's actually, holding up like aquatic builds, even though aquatic builds are like ass right now. So I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, really. Ice pick. Ice pick. Yeah.
Sad to say goodbye.
I say yeah because there's a chance that we could always run into Iceberg, and then maybe we get a lucky nitrogen hammer. Until then, we'll keep on speccing into weapons and hope for the best. That's not bad if I could win. Oh
You
boy.
should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Pig. Okay. Pretty sure I'm dead. Oh, cool. Never mind. He's probably really trying to build this. This is crazy. At Diamond, this gains 12 value. It's ridiculous.
Now this is how you win a war.
Yep.
Few warriors live to retire. Buy my weapons, and you might. Use it well.
Okay.
Make me proud.
Well.
Enjoy the thrill of battle.
That's good. We have no haste. We kind of have slow, but fine.
When you carry my weapon, I fight alongside
It's some form of scaling. It's not bad. Let's be real, juggler. We'll just kick my ass. This is probably fine.
No weakness. Now I'll never captain a ship.
Alright. I'll tell you what, if this gets to 4 wins, that's a victory. If this gets to 4.
You can't afford it.
Holster. I mean, 1 second's a lot, but yeah.
Buyer's remorse never. Be remorseless.
feeds body and soul.
1 XP short.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms. My fight isn't with you.
Yeah, they really are. Alright, man. Appreciate the lurk. Hopefully work isn't too bad for you today. Just running something similar. Can we burst him down before he bursts us down?
Bring her about!
Yep.
I've got another salvo in me.
Might actually be knee brace difference here. Let me see. Yeah, it... oh wow, he had a better starting skill than I did.
Rally, men!
Knee brace difference. How about that? Sure.
I'll send you to
Maybe
work,
we can stack.
but I'll keep you as long as I can.
Any good fights lately? Well, I do miss it.
Okay, so this is whenever I buy a weapon.
Nufo teaches stillness. I prefer action.
Yeah, I actually like that guy.
Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me.
Sabertooth. Or Noble. There are upsides for both. I do want to try and get the shiny fang though. Darn. Never lucky. Yeah, let's try to catch him on EXP. Man. Oh. That's another ammo item, though. It is more, so... Okay, fine. We could get Shark Claws here.
Huge. All about moderation.
We do not.
Every item finds its body.
That is too bad.
Kingdom!
Silver ammo, loot, item. Let's go with loot, I guess. It's not a bad one. Feather's always nice. Three-win Mac.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Bazaar.
Same as me. Ooh, Calcinator. Wow, this guy is going full Calcinator build. Oh, I have a feeling I'm in trouble unless I can burst him down real quick. Probably not. Little too slow. Oh, yeah, the gold skill too. Damn. Whew. Man. What a build.
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who does.
If it's not right for you, bring it back. I want you to be happy.
Hello, seaweed, and goodbye.
My battle days
There
are
was a
over.
consideration for
But my
powder
weapons
keg. Hey, there it is. If I had some kind of I don't even know how to describe it, really.
Enjoy the thrill of battle. Well, you can.
Shark claws. Where do I slot you into, buddy? Get rid of you, and let's buy the upgrade
carry my
for
weapon,
you.
I fight alongside you.
Maybe I drop the knee brace now. Oops. Yeah, we cannot beat the Lich, so we're not even gonna try. I don't know, this, if we get the powder keg, if we can get our hands on incendiary rounds,
See that plank?
and even maybe even the skill where when you use ammo, it burns. We could consider powder keg in this build. Okay. When you use ammo item, reload the item to the left. So I probably want to do something like that. Yeah. Skill upgrade, aquatic. Well, we only really need to. We only have 2 right now. 3. So it's 1 extra ammo for 10. Sure. Let's get gold.
Sail, my boy.
Okay, so here we actually want to upgrade the shark claws
This will inspire
so we can get
the
more
crew.
damage. Another Mac, 2 wins.
Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
I seek the ultimate secret. Will you get me any closer?
Seems like the connection here at the new apartment's a little spotty sometimes. Had some drop frames. Oh, this is going to be a carpet build. Oh, we need to burst them down before this gets fully online. Looks like we should be able to.
I must repeat the experiment.
Okay, we've gotten to 4 wins, so we are on track. Everything else is just a nice little cherry on top.
Ooh, the keener the blade, the quicker the fight. Take your time. I'm pretty laid back.
Fortunately, I cannot afford this space. This is really good. I don't have the money for it, though. Or the space. It's 50 damage. That's so much. Do I get rid of these two? Alright.
Just toss that on my back, and I'll trot it to your door.
Okay. Probably going to regret that, but... Plasma rifle. Gumballs, health. I think we go with gumballs. Play some red and blue guys.
Ride that tide!
Even if they don't come from me, your lessons will
First time you haste. Oh, I should have gotten freeze. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I'm so dumb. I feel so stupid. Alright. We'll go with tempering. Damn it. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I just completely forgot I had the ice pick. We could have gotten, like, shatter. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Tempering was probably better. But still. Pretty big misplay there. This guy is doing exactly what I kind of have in mind. Oh, I have to kill him twice. Yeah, no, this is Jover. Oh, and he had lifesteal. Yeah, I don't have any bronze items. Let's take a gander.
We've barely scratched the surface of the Outlands. Magnificent find.
Don't think we can beat the dragon.
Is that even a battle? Maybe a skirmish. Now this is how you win a war!
Yeah, if we're offered free skills again, I'm gonna go for it. That was really dumb on my part.
I'm finished with fighting. But I can help you finish a fight. Use it well. Make me proud.
Yeah, let's go for a temp boost. It's probably our best bet.
My fight isn't.
Don't really need any large items. Niche? What's that? Oh, another freeze. Doesn't have lifesteal, but he does have shatter. Oh god, and obsidian ice bucket. Ooh. Damn. That is actually cool. I've never seen anyone do that before. I like it.
This now.
Haste.
Your future.
Turbo katana? Let's see. 2 items for 1 second. Yeah. With it going off as much as it does, that's probably good. Alright.
I will not fail you, Father.
Shield or health? Shield. Boost, of course. That's slightly better. Okay. Bandages.
Rally men, blades
Not
to
the
the wind.
best.
What's your
Let's
favorite color?
enchant.
Mine is sadness.
Slow.
Size dilutes the brain. Mind is highly concentrated. If you want
Nah.
cheap junk, go see Curio.
Crit. Still not great, but it's better than 0. Oof, okay.
I'm a bit
Got a
of
pig.
legend on Pelago.
Laboratory. Ah, that's smart, actually. Yeah, I can't win this any longer. Too much status.
Read the tide.
Okay.
Listen to the wind.
Like I said, if
Then
this
you'll
got
guide
4
your
wins,
steps.
that's good. Cool. All right. Rank status doesn't go down. More chests. Something good. Dang. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so like half were normal and half were actually above average as far as gems. Okay, so pig or Mac? Let's do pig, even though this is going to be pretty painful. We've got ladle. Okay. All right, so probably some kind of freeze build, it looks like.
It's all about motivation. You gotta know what you're fighting for.
Reward the peaceful, punish. Use that for the good of all.
Yeah, robe got significantly stronger. I'm not really trying to do weapons. If anything, I'm probably going to lose this first day, which is bad.
I should warn you.
Yeah, Vanessa of any type, because I'm not doing any damage. 2 burn isn't going to do anything, so... Yeah, she's got weapons. Does this have crit? It does not. Well, I mean... it's probably not going to happen. I was going to say maybe I can claw back my HP before the sandstorm begins. But... yeah, I don't think so. This might just be my loss here. Well, maybe. Wow. Wow. That was pretty lucky. Okay. The same conditions as Vanessa. If I can get 4 wins on Pig, I'll consider that a victory on its own.
A friend. I mean, a customer.
Okay.
If that doesn't work out for you, come back for a refund. Now that's giving up the business.
More burn.
See Argenta. She's wonderful.
Welcome in, hon. What can I get you?
Actually, I will
Oh, delivery
get
is
robe.
free. I like the exercise.
Let's do something like that. Do I plan to sell properties? I mean, really only if I'm making money, right?
Oh, I think
I'll buy it for now. Just have it as a background item. Well, at the very least, I won't lose. So that's good.
I've come too far to let you stop me.
Okay, got rush. Ooh, boots.
If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it. I think that suits you beautifully.
Pig.
My people believe in peace.
Oh, he's got the skin. So this guy's at least made it to the end of the prize pass. Overheal. Wow, that's a lot of burn. Not sure about that. Problem is, I think the sandstorm is gonna kill me. Oh, or not. That was kind of a shock. Weird. gonna complain about it, but yeah, strange.
The smaller the portions, the finer the meal. Whoever said money can't buy class had neither.
If you're not growing, you're failing.
Ooh. Okay. I was gonna say, like, if I could get, like, a money tree, since I have, like, all this spare change now, that would be, like, insane. Do I have it that way? Yeah, I had it like that. Okay. Yeah. Because we could get snow globe here. Should be nice. How is this getting value? Oh, I should be upping this, really. Yeah. Okay.
Believe you'll win, and
Glow?
you'll win, but not against me.
Okay. Let's try and transform that, actually. Masterpiece.
Everyone here is huge. It's terrifying. There's fun size, and then there's boring size. Midsworth says I have to trade even when I don't care. I guess I made a sale.
Okay.
I'll take it, I guess. Not very big though, is it?
Oh, that's why. Got it.
My people believe this. Boring! I will fight you, but only so that I can study you.
One win Mac. It's a lot of regeneration, a lot of burn. I think I'm in some trouble here. Yeah. Yeah, too much stacking. I'm never gonna get through that regeneration, so I just lose. If I even make it to the storm, it's just, nah. Not gonna happen. No.
Time is low.
No, that's too much. Yeah, this is so much regen. There's just no way through that. and shield.
Oh, a customer.
Um. So a property.
Moving up in the world.
Leveled up one of the change. Okay.
It's all about motivation. You gotta know what you're fighting for.
Ah, no money tree. Damn. Okay. Still pretty weak. Should be fine here. Just not against Burner Man.
The tyrant king will not be pleased.
That's actually not bad. I'll probably keep that.
Size dilutes the brain. Mind is highly concentrated.
It's a tool. Yeah, I just don't have confidence in this. I mean, I guess I could get it for like PvE fights, but
Excellent choice.
it's just not really all that good otherwise.
Some ammonia seeds, acorns, home. I'll never resell this. I'm almost sure that was a good trade.
Yeah. Okay. This is gonna get 9 every time. Every time we sell a property. Oh no. Looks like this guy is doing what we're doing. Just better. Yeah. Yep. That is it. Move that back. That down.
Do you have any really small things?
Wow. Just too bad I'm too poor for that. I mean, technically I can get it now.
It's
all right.
smaller than Quixel.
I'll really need to shift into getting small stuff then. Or two.
When you're ready,
Fine.
I'll send you to Orly. But I'll keep you as long as I can.
Gonna give it our best shot.
How would you like to work for us?
Oh, good. Actually, okay, that's at 34. Okay, needs 2 more items. I need 10, but usually small. Oh. That was dumb. Okay. Yeah. This is probably gonna blow up. Ah, man. What a stupid thing for me to do. Yeah. Yeah, I just went ahead and wasted the bonsai. Good job, dumbass. Yep.
The joy of more.
Thanks for being an idiot. Good job. Okay.
You've just taken the first step toward good take. Buyer's remorse never. Be remorseless.
All right.
You're a smart one for your size.
Now that's quality.
Graded the robes.
Tell everyone you got it here.
People here look so vulnerable.
4. Alright. Damn. So stupid wasting that bonsai. Just wasn't thinking. Just wasn't thinking. Okay.
The Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
Well, there's the money tree. Fortunately, I don't have anything that produces spare change right now, nor can I afford to buy it.
Happy to
So
make a sale.
we'll just
Time
go
to say
with
goodbye.
that. Wow, no chocolate event either, huh? Alright.
You do see these tusks, right?
Yeah, I don't have a good feeling about this run. Weapon Vanessa. I'm gonna get bursted down. Nothing I can really do. Fire goes off too late. Yep. Yep.
Now that's giving up the business.
Not too surprised there.
Moving up in the world.
Alright. Let's do that. Chocolate. Fight. Of course not.
This is war, and the enemy is dirt. This isn't over, dirtbag. War.
Okay. Preferably hogwash. Of course not.
I'm finished with fighting, but I can enjoy the thrill of battle. Well, you can.
7 items. Okay.
Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me. Hey, when you carry my weapon, I fight alongside you.
Now that's quality.
Oh man, that was a mistake. I put the wrong item up. God damn it. Oh, God. You just keep doing dumb stuff. What are you doing? My God.
If you're not growing, you're failing.
Oh, missed out on 8 DPS just because I'm an idiot.
If not today, tomorrow. If not this life, the next. You learn skills quickly, but it takes patience to master.
That could have mattered. Just making stupid ass mistakes.
I may be young for accounting, but I've seen my share of stories.
Weapons, Vanessa, surprise.
Bravery without strength is a sword without a blade.
Man.
This now. Follow it to your future.
I don't even know. I guess we'll just...
Not feeling so good.
Okay.
Few warriors live to retire. By my weapon, Nufo teaches stillness. I prefer action. Use it well. Make me proud. Nufo teaches stillness. I prefer action. Hey, when you carry my weapon, I fight alongside you.
Three.
You seem like a nice person. Maybe too nice. Moving up in the world.
Not a bad target.
I buy many things, but my particular interest is land. It's good to know who has means in this town.
Okay.
Today I'm the seller. Soon I'll be the buyer.
Something like that, I guess.
It's all about motivation. You gotta know what you're fighting for. Are you sure? Noticed I'm huge?
I will leave you alive to learn the lesson.
Oh boy, this is not good. And of course you didn't freeze that guy. And I'm dead.
I am seeking gold in a world of lead.
Oh, Pig, why are you such a bad character now? Wow, didn't even get 4 wins. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Build got online way too late. Pig, and it lost me that. Very cool. Thanks. Whew. Awful. Very awful indeed. Still no skin. Man. Alright.
I will find the formula of life.
Here we go,
I
Mac.
will see my family again.
Hoping for good things. These are all actually kind of bad. Guess I'll go with that. Okay. Well, I don't know if I win, to be honest. Have to try, though. Okay.
Not all my subjects survive.
Ooh, that's a good one to get.
Welcome in, hon. What can I get you?
So... Calcinator it is.
Free. I like the exercise.
And retort. Along with mortar.
Just toss that on my back, and I'll trot it to your door.
Do I do both?
Oh, I think you're really gonna enjoy that.
Okay, I need a Philosopher's Stone. Reagent. Stone. Shard. Let's just hope for the
I have
best.
faced 82 foes exactly like you.
We may
People
lose
are a
this
pattern.
first day. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of burn. Yeah, we lose. This is an auto lose. Yay. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Okay. Alright, so we need to start building some funds here. Okay. Nah, we'll get rid of that. Reagent.
Another step forward on my path.
Okay.
Some are too proud to be trained by a child. You might examine that. I spent half my life mastering that technique. So like 9 years.
Come on in.
Okay, Philosopher's Stone would be nice. It's a good upgrade.
Come back for a refund.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, let's go for the Scrapper. I don't know if we can beat them or not, but we have to try. Looks like we'll be fine. Medkit. Not really all that helpful. Transform event, sure. Vanessa. Alright.
You are a child, and I will punish you.
Weapons, probably? Oh no. Aquatic. Well, kind of weapons. That's a problem. Shiny. Wow.
After all these centuries, there is still more to learn.
Catalyst.
what's right for you.
I'm actually really shocked that we haven't been
Every
offered a
item
Philosopher's
finds its
Stone
value.
yet.
It's a relationship, you know?
Normally you find them pretty early, but I guess we're pretty unlucky there. Guess we'll go for a fight. Don't get it. Okay.
I'm faster than lightning!
Yeah, this is a really rough start.
Knew that would happen! Didn't care! Woo!
Okay. Damn.
With each new discovery, the formula of life is revealed. With more time comes greater perfection.
Okay, for real, like, we need a Philosopher's Stone so bad. And we're just not finding it.
Suit yourself, darling.
Is this really gonna be that game where, like, Mac should easily be winning, but because I'm literally missing one item from the build the entire game, I'm just gonna get screwed? Weapons. I'm just gonna assume I die. This build is too slow. I'm just gonna get bursted down.
You fall like a
Like that. Just like that. Like, I literally needed like 2 seconds and I would have won, but no. No, today I just get to lose. Because I can't find one item. Just one. Just one.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge. All if it's not right for you, bring it back. I want you to be happy. I used to offer a free ride home, but people thought it was weird.
I can play you the banjo, or I can play you the knife. Your choice. Bazaar folks strutting around like you own the Outlands. Now get!
No problem with the PvE fights, just PvP, which is honestly where it counts more.
Closer and closer. I can hear my sister's laughter.
Hey, if it's about the gold, Pip is affordable. Cute kid, too.
There are a lot of steps in this staircase, but it's beautiful up there.
Wow, these are super unhelpful.
Reuse,
Okay.
recycle, relax. Hooey! Now that's a bargain. Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything. Well, you're doing your part to clean up the bazaar. Hat's been sitting there 20 years, waiting for you.
Weapons.
If you knew my true purpose, you would stand aside.
Vanessa again. Weapons? Yep. Oh, wow. Okay. It's a lot of burst. 28% chance to crit, and it did. Oh god, we like barely got through that, but there has to be something wrong with their crit formula. I don't know. Whenever there's like some kind of thing where it's like, oh, by the way, like, you know, XYZ, whatever, it's always like we get screwed with like something. Tornado. I'm actually considering that.
A bad craftsman blames his tools, but a good one buys mine. I love this stuff so much, I'm almost happy when you don't buy it.
Tough choice. We'll go with the ones that we can for sure win. There we go. Okay, it's gold.
I will uncover them all.
So peep. Okay, let's do that.
You look rough, man. Let's fix you up.
Would've been nice if we had a stone. Looks like we're not going to
I'm gonna
get
rub
it.
this stuff on you. Don't make it weird.
Oh boy. Okay.
You remind me of someone I fought last century.
Is it bugs? worked out. Alright, tornado potion is coming in clutch, it looks like. Earrings. Nah.
I was expecting you 0.5 seconds ago.
Sure.
Come with no weapons, leave with big bargains.
Pendulum. Okay, pendulum is good.
I can feel our energies resonating.
Because we want that to go off a lot, actually. Okay.
I'm so glad we could share this experience today.
So if we can stack burn a lot before the tornado goes off, we'll be in a really good position. I think the loan shark burst is down. Let's try the foreman. Let's see how this works. Yeah. That's pretty good. Alright, we need to upgrade this as soon as possible. Get to diamond so that this goes to 2 seconds.
My mind glows. I see everything.
Great silver. Yeah, let's transform. Let's get more money. Wow. Okay. Sharpening stone, I guess.
In 100 years when you
Weapons
are
Vanessa. This could backfire because of their burst. Yeah, it might. That's a lot of damage off the bat. Bad feeling about this. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, though. They were building up too much. Okay. tools,
got
sure.
everything you need to do anything you want. Bet you'll be surprised when that comes in handy.
Potions. I mean, that is gonna allow us to get rid of stuff quicker. So, not gonna say no to that. And get a catalyst. Hmm. Seems good. I mean, it's only once a day, though, so...
Size dilutes the brain. Mine is highly concentrated.
Heavy frost.
Neither wealthy nor wise.
Nah.
Huh?
I seek the ultimate power. I have no time for. My power burns hotter, melting away impurities.
Nightshade knows his poisons, but he's got no flair, no fire.
Quick ignition's probably good.
There's more than one way to burn.
You're not getting hurt on purpose just to come see me, are you?
Man, still no, Philosopher's Stone. That's kind of a bummer.
The Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
Hmm.
Happy to make a sale. Sad to say goodbye.
Okay.
I seek the ultimate secret.
It's too bad we don't have starter combat haste.
I will leave you
It probably could
alive
have
to
helped us
learn
out a
the
lot
lesson.
too. Carpet. Okay, yeah. Yeah, get this over with as quickly as possible.
If you think you've
There
hurt
we go.
my feelings, I assure you I have none.
Good. Good, good. Oh, we didn't have enough for the catalyst. Totally forgot about that.
I'm a people person, and sometimes I sell stuff. I get it. You're busy. Enjoy your purchase.
Nope, unfortunately nothing that works for us in that regard.
Make deals, not war. You're listening to your needs. That's good, I
Guess we'll go for value. Just try to catch up on some experience.
With enough power,
Light bulb.
I will defeat death itself.
Potion, loot. Can get a reagent here, maybe. Hourglass. Yeah, not super helpful. Candles.
Send me your huge items. Price? Don't care.
No reagents.
Says I have to trade even when I don't care.
Man. You would think reagents would be easier to find as we move forward, but no.
You would stand aside.
I guess competing with all the other items is a bit much. Okay. Alright. Awesome. So far, Tornado's working for us. Alright, first things first. Yeah. Okay.
Discounts for peace. You are not.
There's one.
But I'm glad you bought this.
Another. Start of each day. Get a catalyst. We're already kind of doing that already, so.
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who does. Just toss that on my back, and I'll trot it to your door.
But, I mean, it's good with the tornado. It's just that by the time that goes off, it's not really... You just need to get more regeneration. Waters of Infinity would be really good to get. Cool.
Man or beast. Sometimes it's hard to
Did
tell.
not get.
Another step forward on my
Big
path.
Sag. I wish we had obsidian here.
Space is my canvas.
We're gonna try for it. Double burn. Wow. Okay, that is pretty good.
Some of this I found. Most of it I took. Good. I wanted to keep those anyway.
The smaller the portions, the finer the beer.
Oh, that's super late, but
Buyer's remorse
okay.
never. Be remorseless.
Hmm. Need to do that for space, unfortunately.
You are a child to me, and I will punish you.
My dreams are too big for you to steal.
Don't like that, but we should have the upper hand by the time the tornado starts. Yeah.
I'll admit,
Okay.
that was impressive.
Oh, that was weird. It was all like floaty for a second. Okay.
Hey, good to see ya.
Feels super slow. Apothecary. I mean, I like having the dual threat. I just wonder... Staff of the Moose, will that even go off? Damage equal to your regeneration. Plus that's haste. I don't know. Or do we go Apothecary? I mean, right now, our regeneration is 170. Like, the damage on this kind of matters, and it kind of doesn't. I mean, we're really just funneling the calcinator. But this could make it that when we're taking big burst lethal damage, that we're okay for 1 second. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it, I guess.
Feel better.
You know what?
not to almost die every day?
Yeah, let's go with something like that.
Everyone here is huge. It's terrifying.
Probably huge mistake, but
Huge things.
it's fine. At least we'll get to test it out in a PvE fight first. Let's go here.
How you wish to test your theories?
Blast! Not enough bismuth in the antimony.
Wow. Well, we didn't even get to do anything. I guess this is a good backup just in case something goes awry.
Alchemy is more poetry than science. I fear you will take it too far.
Is this double?
Eternal
It
life
is.
will be a curse
Ow.
if you don't learn how to live.
Oh, hello, Mac. Come to learn from a real alchemist? I may be young, but I'll out-transmute you, old man.
People first, profit 10th. So, how about this weather where... Oh, you're leaving. That's good.
Okay. Yeah, we really need to find an upgrade for that.
Why must we
Pick.
do this? Death laughs at us both.
I should warn you, I'm not like other Jabarians.
5-1 pick, just like me. Okay. Ah, I see.
I can see you're going places, but I'll be chasing you.
I was just about to go off too. Okay. Whew. That is a potion.
My battle days are over, but my weapons crave more. The Bazaar is not kind to the weaponless.
Look, it's okay to have a crush on me. I love everyone. Why do my people live in forests? Those cities where the wounds are.
Still have yet to find upgrade for that. Yeah, we should be able to beat this guy.
I have many enemies. Now I have one. With each new discovery, the formula of life is revealed.
Wow. Oh, well, I have enough gold. Just sucks that I can't take that guy in particular with me.
Hi, I'm Quicksilver, Master Merchant or something. There's fun size,
Rainbow.
and then there's boring size.
Oh, come on. Pendulum, pendulum. That's what we're looking for.
A friend. I mean, a customer.
Of course not. Alright, fair enough. Dooley,
When
6
we are
wins,
finished,
just like me.
may I dissect you for study?
Question is, are you bugs? Looks like you are. Got the slow on the one I really didn't want you to get a slow on. But we won anyway. Good. You'd love to see it. Oh yeah, look at that. We crawled up to 7 wins. Amazing. Amazing. Oof. Okay.
This is talking fast.
Nope. Nope.
We'll be there long after you are
Closer and closer.
There we go. That's the upgrade we were looking for. All right. Medium. Sure.
I'm pretty laid back. You might try JJ's shop. Real friendly guy.
Of course.
Is this creature challenging me?
I guess the ring.
Pitiful appearance. It's a trick.
Whew. Extra money. Let's go. I mean, gosh, I really don't know. Whew. I just don't have the space. Yeah, I just don't have the space. Oh, that feels bad.
The Bazaar has many secrets. I will uncover them all.
First time you use an item, haste 3 poison items for 2 seconds. Potion. Charge 1 weapon or burn item. I mean, yeah, even though we only get 1 use out of that guy, that could be something. Nope. Nope.
That's fine, don't care.
Poison Goblin. Ooh, this pig has like 9 wins. Wow. I'm assuming, oh no, not at all.
Boring.
Really? Ah. Well, that's over. I can see what they were doing. The ramp is unfortunately too slow, but that's an interesting build I would have never expected on Pig.
Come with no weapons, leave with big. Use that for the good of all. I'm so glad we could share this experience today.
Oh, come on then. Let's get this over.
Ooh, upgrade. Why not? I've got enough spare change. Oh, yeah, I really want the level, but I also want juggler. Going with the level. Just like that. Potion didn't even have time to go off.
Another specimen for my collection.
Well, see ya.
Mind glows. I see everything.
Ooh. Would love it if I were playing a femur build, but I'm not, sadly.
I'm finished with fighting, but I can help you finish a fight. Newful teaches stillness. I prefer action.
You. Okay, so I think I want the EXP. Oh, hey, that's a good guy. Maybe we'll see the moose go off this time. The staff. And this guy's a lot of HP, so we should. Or not.
A waste of my time. But
well, that sucks. I mean,
power burns
like,
hotter,
come on.
Melting away impurities.
Alright, fine.
A thing of true beauty.
Okay, so this will generate, that will generate. Don't think there's anything else that generates stuff. Okay. 8-win pig, just like me.
Only so that I can study you.
Are you sure? Noticed I'm huge.
Fixer-upper, money tree, skyscraper. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Yeah, this is Jover. Holy, 30k crit. Oof. That was one hit too. Yeah, that'll do it. Wow, he got the one shot, one kill, along with quality over quantity. Shield bash, that's real nice. That's real nice. GG's, dude. Okay.
An advance payment for your bright future.
Wow. Wow. I think I want to try and, as cool as that is, I want to try and random a shiny on this. Damn, got shield instead.
Many times I have stood on this edge.
Ah, shiny would have been so good. 4 seconds back and forth, that would have been amazing. Okay.
I got everything you need. Just a matter of finding it.
Cooldowns.
To see that fine.
Yeah, we want to get damage on that, because if that goes off, that's all the more regen
clean up the bazaar.
that we get.
Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything.
Why not? It's not like we're hurting for money.
Oh, yeah. Now that's a bargain. That's been sitting there 20 years, waiting for you. Hooey! Now that's a bargain.
Oh, we do have a potion that heals.
See that find on.
Totally forgot about that. Skill upgrade. Yeah, we can get an upgrade for that. Unfortunate, but fine. Yeah, kind of expecting to win past where we are right now. We're even lucky that we're here, so this is a victory in my eyes.
What strange creatures prowl these streets? With enough power, I will defeat death itself.
Regeneration is more than biology. It can be learned.
One, 2, 3. So we get 12. That's 10. Fortunately, we're not using a lot of potions. Let's see if we can get something better. Yep, we certainly can.
It will regenerate.
You're huge! Do you have any huge items? Okay, now sell me something! Something huge!
I would never debase my wares by haggling. Ugh. You're a smart one for your size.
Okay, we are fighting Vanessa. Also 8 wins.
You remind me of someone I fought last century.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
It is weapons, cannonade, and they blew up an item. Okay.
You've got talent. You should put it
We
towards noble.
still won somehow. Oh, do they have the mimic skill? No, they actually got the skill from the golem. Oh, right, because the golem doesn't the mimic skill doesn't activate until they're at half health. That was actually a really good one to hit. If they hit this, I probably wouldn't have lived. Okay. Neat. Cool. Let's see if we can get some skills. Shield equal to 4 times. Nope. First 5 times you slow. Charge a burn item. That does slow, so yep. More uses for that.
My reward.
6, 9. Yeah, let's go with that. Global cooldown is a good idea. Okay.
The world whirls like the wind.
Now, in this case, if I get offered the skill, I will not take it.
To be a dervish is to be free. Join us.
Okay, carpet.
Another step forward on my path.
Tool. Loot. Sure. Not great, but also not bad.
Who I am does not matter. At the edge
Level?
of the fun.
Ooh, we actually got to level 19. Okay. You know, sometimes this does go off, so I think I'm actually going to give it burn on the off chance that it does go off. Because that'll just add to the regeneration, so... Okay. Why not? Alright. So, this is absolutely the last day. No matter what happens, it's against Pig, so... Big yikes. Pretty proud of this build, though. We really crawled up from the bottom. It was looking pretty grim. So, here we go.
Why must we do this?
They have also died. So they're going to be pretty strong. It is... Oh god. Okay, yep. That's bad. 24k, no crit, GG's.
Even Zosima would
not even mad.
That was good.
Not even mad. That was pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, let me say. Got it. Sorry, I just received an email about some things that I need to take care of after the stream. Why does that subscribe button pop up? I'm pretty sure that's a bug and that's supposed to be gone. I remember people talking about that before, or that used to be there. It looks like they haven't found a way to remove that completely yet, but you know what? That was awesome. Real good, real good. Okay. Well, that was really nice. Oh god, we dropped a lot of frames. Wow, I didn't even notice that. I am so sorry about that. Jeez. I don't know. I want to end on a high note, so I think I'm gonna end it there. But before we go, let's open up some more chests. I didn't even see if I got a level. I don't think I did. We'll do 2 rounds of 10, maybe 3. You had me going there for a second game. I thought you were gonna give me a skin. Ooh, hello. That's a new skin for Pig. We got the drum. Nice. We got the chest again. Yeah. Let's do one more pull. Aww. Okay, well, we're almost back up to 10k gems, which is pretty good. Whatever that next Vanessa skin, whenever that one Vanessa skin comes up, I'll definitely be able to get it. So, all right, let's equip this. Whoops, that's where we just came from. Don't want to go there.
My
Pig.
people lack ambition.
New skin.
I took it all.
It is a diamond skin, it looks like. Yeah, because that's different from silver. Cool. Me likey. That looks really nice. Awesome. Okay. Well, you know what? Today was a pretty productive day. I really enjoyed myself. Sorry for the drop frames. I did not notice those, but it was nice having you on here, and yeah, really appreciate it. So that's going to be it for me today. We might have a stream on the weekends. Probably not. I usually don't, but we'll see how things go. We're still in the process of like unpacking here at the new apartment and getting things set up for my new car, my new vehicle. So if anything, we'll be back next week on Tuesday, the usual time, around 12, around noon, 12 Eastern. But yeah, thanks so much for joining. It was a lot of fun here today. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else really. I believe that is it. So I'll be taking my leave here. And again, thank you so much for joining me in on this adventure. Always appreciated. But I will see you all very soon. If anything, like I said, back around the usual time. So please have a good rest of your day. Safe weekend. Stay safe, stay warm. And see you when I see you. Bye-bye for now.